Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to the Poke Resort, and all I have to say is happy birthday Pokemon on your 20th anniversary. And it is just crazy to believe that Pokemon has been out for 20 years, and I could not be more thankful for what they have done to my life. And just to kind of celebrate the anniversary of Pokemon, the 20th anniversary, I thought I'd just go over a bunch of different subjects with my favorite memories regarding Pokemon, favorite experiences, and any kind of my take with Pokemon. So just more of my appreciation to Pokemon, where I'm just going to be talking about that in tons of different categories. So if it's something you guys are interested in, I'd also love to see you guys' comments in the comment section below. Just if you guys want to do this with me and list every single thing under this categories of mine, just what your personal experiences are as well. So it's just more of a day just to enjoy Pokemon, and I know we're definitely have a lot more to look forward to with Sun and Moon. So with that being said, let's get into it. So my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Yellow, and that came out I believe in like 1999, and I was 5 years old at the time because I was born in 1994, and I was actually first introduced to Pokemon with the anime rather than the video game. So I got really into the anime first, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. Now I gotta figure out what this video game's all about. So I got that for Christmas, I believe. Yeah, I did get it for Christmas. I actually ended up getting it for Christmas again because I have a couple different Christmases just with two sides of family. So you have my mom's side and my dad's side. So on my mom's side, got that one first, and then my dad's side the next day, Christmas Day, managed to get the same thing. So it was kind of funny to end up getting that. But yeah, that was my first game. Very, very enjoyable. So I basically had my first experience with only having Pikachu as a starter, which got me pretty frustrated just for the fact that I'm a big Charmander fan. So the fact that I didn't get to use Charmander, and I thought it was possible. I think it actually is possible, but I really have only played through Yellow version once, and that was when I was like 5 years old, 6 years old. So it's just kind of interesting to, hey, maybe I should go back to that and actually figure out what that whole game's about. But I definitely remember Pikachu being my partner and ended up actually being evolved and wouldn't follow me around anymore. One thing I did not know, but I wanted a powerful Pokemon, and that's when it ended up happening. So yeah, so that was my first Pokemon game. So my favorite game was definitely Pokemon Soul Silver. Now, my first game that I really enjoyed was Pokemon Silver version, and I just absolutely loved it, and that was when I was like 7 years old, and I was with all my friends who enjoyed playing that game, so it was really cool to have that experience around everyone. But with Soul Silver, that game was just so complete. I loved the newer graphics. Everything just seemed a lot more well done, but that was like my first time really enjoying the game, because actually when I played Silver version, I didn't even know you could go back to Kanto, which kind of blew my mind when I heard about Soul Silver. So it's kind of interesting just to see the differences between Soul Silver and Silver version. And I was just a kid then, so a lot of the kids, like if you ever pick up a kid's video game at like a Pokemon game at 6 years old, you're gonna know that they probably stopped getting anywhere probably around the third or fourth badge. So the fact that I managed to get all that badges, beat a champion, but ended up not even knowing about the Kanto region, it was just a huge surprise to me when I got to play Soul Silver. So that was just something I really enjoyed, something I very appreciate, and I just feel like that was the most complete game I've ever played of Pokemon. And Pokemon, please do that again. If that's what you're planning on doing with Sun and Moon, I thank you. So my favorite experience with Pokemon was catching Rayquaza, and the reason why it was so memorable to me was that I didn't have a Master Ball, I didn't have an Ultra Ball, I didn't have a Great Ball. So the fact that I didn't have any of those, but I did have over, I think around, I had exactly 70 Pokeballs. And since the fact that I had 70, and you do know how tough it is to catch a Pokemon or a legendary Pokemon with only Pokeballs, I'll tell you the exact number it takes for you to get a legendary Pokemon. 70. Yes, it literally took me all of my Pokeballs to finally catch Rayquaza. So that was just my most accomplished moment that I had in Pokemon. So it was just a great experience. It was a very frustrating one, but I was very glad that I finally got to get my own Rayquaza, and it's just really cool. Especially, I feel like just the games are so much cooler when you're younger because you're just awed by everything. When you're older, you just always expect more and more and more, and mainly because it's a kid's game, so you don't always get everything you want, but it's still very enjoyable. But with the kids game, you don't know about a lot of this stuff. You don't know about action replay. You don't know about like IVs and EVs. You just play the game to have fun. So, and it's just so much more of a different experience when you're younger compared to when you're older. So I just really appreciated getting Rayquaza back then when it literally took me 70 Pokeballs. I even remember I was outside, I was in my garage because my mom doesn't like me playing inside the house when it's nice out. So I'd bring my Game Boy and stuff and I'd bring it all outside and I'd just be enjoying the nice weather and trying to catch me some Pokemon. I guess my second favorite part of video game would just be going against Red from Red and Blue version, when you got to be in Soul Silver version, because I didn't get to do it in Silver version, mainly for the fact that I didn't know about it, so it's kind of pissed me off a little bit. But it was a very cool experience to have that kind of moment where you got to go against the past character, or in my opinion, my favorite character. To be able to go against him was a very cool moment for me, and just the whole scene where it's just quiet and you just went up to him, he turned around, he was ready to battle. Just very cool. Definitely the best moments in the Pokemon video games that I've ever experienced. So just overall as a whole, that's definitely my favorites. So my first shiny was actually shiny Medicham. I managed to get that in Diamond version, which was so odd to me because I don't remember if I knew about shinies or I take that back. I did know about shinies, but I was just so mind blown by the fact that there was shinies in the game. I knew about them, but I just never thought, oh, I'll never get a chance to them. I think it's just absolutely crazy because the odds of getting shiny Pokemon back in the day, they were very tough. So and I was actually a day where I already beat the game. I was just kind of just playing around with it, where I really just wasn't thinking too much about whatever I was doing at the time. I just kind of picked up the game and started playing it. And that was just, lo and behold, that was when I got myself shiny Medicham. So that was definitely a very cool experience to get your first shiny. I know all you guys have had your first shiny experiences, or hopefully all of you guys have, especially in XY. It's pretty much a guarantee all you guys had your first shiny encounter. But yeah, let me know about yours as well. But my favorite shiny encounter was very recently, actually, and that was with X and Y. That was the day I managed to get Y version. I actually bought both versions, but I chose to play Y first. And I literally started the game, hit the play button, just did my thing through the game, and at the very beginning to get my starter, I picked my starter, which was Froakie, and I'm like, alright, this is cool, I like Froakie. And then we went into the battle, and he was just thrown out there, and I'm like, actually looks a little bit whiter than what I remember picking him. And then the sparkles happened, and that's when I flipped out. I was freaking out like you guys wouldn't even believe that I managed to give myself a shiny Froakie. I haven't had a video on my channel. Point here if you guys want to click on that and watch, because I literally made this video like right after I caught this shiny Froakie. I was jumping up and down for a while, and this is before anyone knew what any of the shiny Pokemon looked like, because no one knew, because no one was able to like, well actually this is a worldwide release, so Serbia, which is basically everyone's source to go to, where you find out what these shinies are, or what they'll look like when you have the game, because Japan already played through it, and the fact that it was worldwide, no one knew what every shiny was. So the fact that I found out what the first, shiny Froakie was, shiny Greninja, and shiny Frogadier as well. I made all three videos, yeah, so I managed to be the first person, or I think I'm the first person ever to get myself a shiny Froakie, because I got it right when it opened. I went to GameStop, got my game, went right back home, started playing it all day. So I could be the first person to have a shiny Froakie, but I know I am the first on YouTube to have it. So it was a very cool experience. So by the way, so any of you YouTubers who are using a shiny Froakie or shiny Greninja, I have rights to it. I have all rights to shiny Greninja for the fact that I was the first one to have it. So I own that guy. So I got a special place in my heart for Greninja. So my favorite Pokemon is Charizard, and the reason why it's Charizard is mainly nostalgia factor, and this guy is just freaking awesome. I mean, how do you not like Charizard? Now, I know a lot of people also dislike Charizard a lot because everyone loves him so much, but I was born in Gen 1. I absolutely fell in love with Charizard. I loved Charmander, the whole evolution line. That's just one character I really connected to, and I just absolutely love the character, just the way I watched it in the anime, just how powerful it is, and it's just a beast. I seriously can't add more to it. My favorite card was my Charizard card, but then my mom decided to put everything away and rummage sale. So that's a bad story I don't really want to talk about, but yeah, so that is my favorite Pokemon. I love Charizard Y and Charizard X. Charizard Y is more my favorite just for the fact that it resembles regular Charizard more than Charizard X does. So I just like regular Charizard, but the fact that it has Megas is absolutely amazing, and it is just a great Pokemon. And I play favorites a lot when I battle, and I like to use my favorites rather than competitive Pokemon, but that's also why I don't do competitive, mainly for the fact that I lose because I like to choose my favorites over some that are actually viably competitive, but Charizard definitely is. So Charizard, thank you very much for being my favorite Pokemon and being one of the first Pokemon ever, so I gotta enjoy that character for a very long time. Oh, and my other favorite character, very close second, would be Shiny Greninja, as for my reason explained before. It's just a very emotional, or kind of just like it's an experience that I had with the Pokemon, and it's just something very special to me, and that's why it's my favorite Pokemon. What does Pokemon mean to me? That's a tough one, and the best way I could sum up what Pokemon means to me is that it lets me still be a child. It basically continues my childhood. So the fact that Pokemon is still letting me be able to be a kid for as long as I want to, just for the fact that Pokemon doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon, is just a very cool feeling, and it's just awesome to be able to be a part of such a great franchise, and something that obviously has had a big effect on me where I wanted to become a PokeTuber, because I just really enjoy Pokemon as a whole. And all I can really say is happy birthday and thank you. So favorite memory regarding Pokemon, so we've already done the video game part, but as for real life, I think my favorite experience real life with Pokemon, not regarding the games, is just having a bunch of friends being able to play it. And I don't really have that anymore, or at least in real life, because I have a ton of people on Twitter and YouTube and stuff that I know now of, but not really anyone in real life anymore, or that I get to see in person, just because everyone's kind of grown out of it. But I still enjoy it, and that's why I went to here, because I got one to see more people who do enjoy Pokemon. So, but when I was a lot younger, I had a ton of friends. Everyone was into Pokemon, so the fact that I got to share that experience with everyone else, sharing a great experience about enjoying Pokemon, was just very cool. Where I had like Pokemon themed birthday parties. I would always have people come over to my house, play Pokemon. I would go to their house, play. We'd go on other people's Nintendo 64, play Pokemon Stadium. So just everything was just Pokemon when I was younger, and it was just so cool. And I'll never be able to think of a better experience than to have that for a childhood. So I guess my other favorite out-of-game experience of Pokemon would be Pokemon Symphonics. And that was a recent event, actually this past May, where I got to enjoy all the popular songs, the Pokemon video games being played by a symphony. And it was just a very cool experience, and something that I think is like a once in a lifetime. Don't know if they'll ever come back, so just being able to experience that once was a very cool feeling. I also got to meet the PokeTuber Marilyn, so here I have the picture right here, so that was also very cool as well. So I got to see some known PokeTubers, which is a very cool thing to see, and I just could not be more grateful for that opportunity to be able to see. So my favorite new mechanic to Pokemon would probably have to be Mega Evolution, and just the cool thing about Mega Evolution that is my favorite is that they're bringing back old Pokemon, and they're basically renewing their life again, where no one really used any or many of the Mega Evolutions before. Like, I know Pokemon still would always do the most popular ones and give them Mega Evolutions, but they're also bringing ones that aren't so popular, and they're bringing them a new life and making them very viable. Like Mawile, that no one ever thought of Mawile for anything, but given a Mega Evolution, it's a very powerful Pokemon, and it's being used all the time. So it's just a very cool experience to be able to see Pokemon just get a new life with the Mega Evolution. So I think that's my favorite thing, my favorite new mechanic, just for the fact that we get to see new designs of old Pokemon and just being able to give them a new life, and having other people enjoy those Pokemon as well that we grew up with. So very, very cool. What would I like to see Pokemon do in the future? I just want to see them try to recognize the older audience, because as we all know, Pokemon is 20 years old. So we have people who grew up with Pokemon and people who are older now where we still enjoy the product, but we also probably wouldn't mind if you made it just a little bit more adult friendly. Now I'm not saying where it's adult friendly where kids can't play it, but just get more of that mix where maybe you can get like more of like 8-year-olds or 9-year-olds or that kind of like level of maturity and up. That'd be better, because like when I was 5, it was not 5-year-old content because I did not know where to go with the game. I don't even remember if I beat Pokemon Yellow, which was my first game. So I feel like they just need to up their audience just a little bit and just recognize their older audience, because I'm 21 years old and I still love Pokemon, but I know they could do so much more with it with the current older audience they have, like making a new anime or something with people, like stuff that we would enjoy, where there's a lot of adult anime, but we don't get that with Pokemon. We get a very, very bad pay. Like, it's a bad show, to be honest. You guys can put your own opinion in it, but a lot of us have fallen off the anime because it is just not good anymore. They ruined all the voices and stuff. I'm not going to get into that, but just make the video games tougher too, because we know how to play the video games. We understand the difficulty, and it's not very hard. We can figure it out pretty fast. So all I really ask for Pokemon to do, just make a easy difficulty and a hard difficulty. That's all you really have to do. Or maybe do 3, doing easy, medium, and like Pokemon Master Mode, and then that's all we really need. I know they implemented it in Black and White, but they did it after we beat the game. I don't want to do it after I beat the game. I want to do it right now because I just played through the game. I don't want to play it again, but just a little bit harder. I want to have it at a hard difficulty already and enjoy my time through instead of just blowing through everything. So, and also just making the game more difficult, such as making like not just the levels up, but making the CPU a lot smarter, the computer. So like they need to be able to use better moves, because the wild Pokemon all the time, they use the dumbest moves, or we could be fainted easily if we're low on HP. But we just basically they just let us by, but like, oh, I'm gonna use a growl on you. Like, well, that was dumb. Or gym leaders too. Gym leaders should be a lot smarter as well, where I know they have the ability to do it, because when you guys after you beat the game, there's like battle tower, stuff like that, just after that post-game battles that you can do that kind of like have those different levels as you get higher and higher, kind of like in X and Y, like the battle mansion, something like that. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So just be able to put like that computer in all the gym leaders, just make it difficult for us. I think we would very much appreciate that. And I guess my last thing I would want to see added to Pokemon, especially the future Pokemon games, just up the graphics. I want amazing graphics. I know that's not really what Nintendo's about, but I love visually pleasing images. So when we see images like Nintendo brings compared to like what a PS4 brings, it's two entirely different engines. So if we were to put, like, I know a lot of videos come out on like Unreal Engine where they put Pokemon into that. If we can do that, that is amazing. And just get new battle animations, where I'd like to see, like, at least with Sun and Moon, to be able to put new animations with the Pokemon in as well, instead of having the same ones over and over again. So that's just something I'd like to see. And what do I see the future of Pokemon? I honestly feel like this is going to be, Pokemon is just like Mario, where we're always going to be seeing future of Mario, and we're also going to be seeing a future of Pokemon. I don't feel like those franchises are ever going to come to an end, or at least anytime soon, where I just feel like Mario is just going to keep going out for another 50 years, and so will Pokemon. And with Pokemon, it's just that there's going to be more and more Pokemon, so it's going to be a lot tougher for the developers to continue to make new Pokemon. So there could be a point where they run out of ideas and it's going to be tough to come up with something. But then again, how many different species of animals or mammals or any kind of living thing is there on this planet? And that's quite a lot. So I know Pokemon has a ton of ideas that they're still able to play around with, so I'm not worried about them running out of ideas anytime soon. And it's just more of like the number of Pokemon. When we get to like 3,000 Pokemon, that's going to be kind of ridiculous when you think of trying to catch them all. So they're going to have to try to find a way where they can still add new Pokemon, but they just not forget about all the others and just don't overwhelm us with all of it. But that could be someday. So we're 20 years into Pokemon, and we have 721 Pokemon, on our way to having a lot more with Sun and Moon, which is possibly a new generation. So just think 40 years from now, maybe we'll just be at around 1,400, 1,500. We'll have to see where it goes. But I mean, in 20 years, at 40 years of Pokemon, being around 1,500 Pokemon to 2,000, that's not too bad. But like when you double to 100 years of Pokemon, that's going to be a lot of Pokemon. But in 3,000 at 100 years, that's not too bad when you think of it. So all I want to just see is future Pokemon where just brand new games, new ideas. I feel like new ideas are very important to Pokemon because they don't want to get in a repetitive basis. They've been being on a repetitive basis with the main series games for the past 20 years, and I'm not saying I'm complaining about it, but you gotta think, like, is it gonna still be enjoyable 20 years from now? So just spin-off games have to be a lot better. That's one thing I feel like Pokemon's always lacked off of side games / side quests. I mean, the Pokemon Detective game, that's kind of a joke to me personally. I'd rather have them spend time on something we'd really enjoy, and there'll be a future video about me talking about different ideas Pokemon can come up with, where just kind of keep the general audience pleased while we're waiting for a main series game. So, but Pokemon Tournament, that's a good idea. You guys nailed it there, so I'm proud of you guys on that. So as long as we see a lot of good spin-offs, good main series video, or that's me, main series videos, but main series video games from the Pokemon Company, and be able to bring their audience level up to a higher age, I feel like Pokemon will definitely be able to live for a very, very long time. Now, what do I have to expect from Pokemon Sun and Moon? Now, this is just something I added to the list, but I think it's something important since it is just released. Now, I personally think that this is going to be second part of Kalos, where we're going to be able to catch a new half of Pokemon, because we got the smallest amount of Pokemon in X and Y, so it would just make sense to finish that other half with exploring parts of the Kalos region that we still have yet to explore, and there's a lot of unopened ends in X and Y, so there's a lot of stuff we still need to figure out with that region. That's why I don't think we're done with it yet, but it's just a new generation, which is just like another half of the generation, so we'll just have to wait and see what exactly it is. But I just really hope that Pokemon ups their game, because we didn't have a game at all in 2015, so I hope they're putting all their effort into this game, so we have a year extra of work being put into this game. So I feel like because of that, we're gonna have a great game, and I know we're all going to love it. So we'll just have to wait and see what they have to offer. So yeah. Alright guys, that is going to be it for me today, so I hope you guys enjoyed this special tribute episode to Pokemon 20, and I just want to say happy birthday, Pokemon, and don't forget, you guys, if you guys want to leave any of your experiences, any of the topics that I listed below, feel free to do that, because I'd love to see what your guys' experience with Pokemon is as well as mine, and just see how they compare, contrast, and look, we all love Pokemon, so that's all that really matters. So I just want to see how you guys appreciate Pokemon as much as I do. So hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys